Welcome to the In Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, if nobody has ever been in the backyard of Old Fox Book, I highly recommend it. And you may hear some cicadas in the background, but that adds to the ambiance.
Yeah.
But we're sitting back here on a cafe table with Mitch Rubinstein, who is the founder and the guru behind a great app that everybody should have in the city of Annapolis, as well as the visitors that are listening to this, called In Annapolis. And you can get that at anywhere you get your apps, whether you're a Googleite or an Appleite. I'm so glad to be able to sit down and talk with you and find out about In Annapolis. And I'm trying to think how to make it the most simple thing. Okay, you've got Visit Annapolis in Anne Arundel County, which is on West Street, 30-something West Street, right across from the Ram's Head. Mm-hmm. And that's where that is. That building doesn't move.
Right.
But you've got In Annapolis, which sits in your purse or your pocket or wherever you have your cell phone. But you've got a ton of information for residents and visitors as well on this app, which is free. Did I get that right?
That's a pretty good description. Yeah, thanks very much.
Are you related at all to the other Rubinstein guy that's got the Orioles and stuff like that?
To David Rubinstein? No, not that I know of.
A couple billion short of.
No, I mean, I wasn't expecting to kind of talk about this kind of a personal story, but I think like many, many years ago, many generations ago, whoever it was, the legend in our family is whoever it was that was, immigrating, didn't understand English. And he said whatever the person in front of him said because they let the person in front of him through. And so he said the same last name as the person in front of him. And so we've been Rubinsteins ever since. But
so we're here with Mitch Smith today.
Right, yeah, exactly.
How did In Annapolis all start? And it's been around for a little bit, but not, it's not entrenched into the history.
Yeah, I think this is our 5th or 6th year. So I came to Annapolis at the end of a career in the Marines. So I finished my career as a professor at the Naval Academy.
Okay.
And I was teaching cyber warfare. And actually a friend of mine, Christian Kamen, shout out to Christian. He actually started the first sort of inception of this app, and it was called Where in Newport. For Newport, Rhode Island, when he's a military spouse and his wife was stationed there. And I was looking at this app because he and I, we've sort of collaborated on a number of things over the years. And I basically told him, like, Christian, you've got to let me do this in Annapolis. This app is awesome. And so we did. So this started out. So originally it was a partnership, but I ended up sort of buying him out of the app as he moved on to his next, duty assignments and everything. But I still collaborate with him. He still helps me out.
The app is, again, pretty amazing. I mean, one of the most popular things that we do in Annapolis is our calendar, and people look to us for events and stuff like that. And really, that's the heartbeat of what you do. And, so I guess, you've got two customers, if you will, the businesses and the users. I guess it's just sort of like Facebook, but on a much smaller scale. I'd like to talk about like the users, what's in it. I know that if you want to pull out your credit card on the water taxi, it ain't happening unless you're using in Annapolis.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a good figure of speech because with the app, you don't even have to pull out your credit card. You can just use Apple Pay to pay for your fare on the water taxi, and most people have the credit cards now sort of embedded in their phones. So it really I think our target demographic for the users, the demographic that we sort of penetrate that maybe other people don't, are the digital natives who grew up with cell phones and don't know a world that's any different than that. So they really like the app, and those are people who are really hard to get to on social media because they tend not to have Facebook accounts or even Instagram accounts. But the digital natives, I think, I just hear a lot about like they want an app. They don't even want to have to go to the World Wide Web and type in a URL and go to a web page. Like they want an app where it's all kind of curated for them and really intuitive to get to.
Well, it does make sense to me. I mean, as you said, this is, where in Newport, where in Annapolis. I mean, this can be applied pretty much anyone. I would think it's probably very strong in tourist-centered destinations.
Right.
But I mean, that makes so much sense to me that if I'm visiting Annapolis, or if I'm a local and I want to just find out what's happening with the festivals, or find out what's, maybe it's a special weather restaurant or a store, something like that, to be able to sit there as opposed to going to Yelp, okay, he's got 5 stars, he's got 4 stars, he's got this. Yeah. Oh, wait, I can go to this, festival.com and see this. And, oh, look who's playing there. This is just, 3 or 4 taps on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's coming right to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and you touched on another thing, which I think, is kind of coming back to the popularity of our app, which is, I think like the whole world of information has kind of come full circle, because one of the things that we kind of let people know is that there's no toxicity, there's no spam, there's no bots. So you're hearing directly from the local small businesses. That's really one of the reasons why I created the app, is to give our local small businesses all the powers of a mobile app without them, requiring the knowledge and expertise.
And the thousands of dollars in cost and everything else involved with it.
Yeah,
sure.
So we try to make it as inexpensive as possible for our local small businesses to join.
Well, I do like that you've got the local businesses in mind. And I mean, I say it all the time that I believe all communities begin on Main Street, and whether Main happens to be Maryland Avenue like we are now, or West Street, or Main Street, or West, wherever it may be, it's the small businesses that are going, I mean, I know I bought my iced tea, and they're going to take the profits from the iced tea and they're going to walk across the street to Annabeth's and, buy a beer or whatever it is after work. And it all makes the world sort of go around. You're very robust. I mean, okay, I know when I opened up the app this morning, I mean, we've seen the Annapolis Songwriters Festival, which is coming into town very soon. That's, right there. It's got all of the information for you. I know you've worked with East Puerto Rican in the past. All of the fun events that both locals and visitors alike want to attend. I mean, let's face it. Okay, the tug of war is really unique to Annapolis.
Yeah.
And I would venture to say that most visitors to town would be ticked off if they left.
I didn't know.
And then get home and realize that this is happening under their noses. Yeah. That's really the beauty of it, that you can turn around there. You can look at local, find out local restaurants, I guess, that, and they can, let you know what specials are, what we've got going. They can, the stores. Where are you looking to get some Annapolis-based, tchotchkes, other than the T-shirt made in China? This is Annapolis.
Right.
We're drinking town with a sailing problem. I mean,
right.
Get something a little bit more local, a little bit more authentic. And that's really where I kind of see you coming in.
Yeah, I think that's right. And you mentioned, being able to sort of move this around to other places. And what I found is it actually takes a long time to sort of build those relationships with the community and to really involve, we spent a lot of time and effort getting involved with the local festivals, with, the Maritime Republic of Eastport, we're big supporters of. So one of my favorite things is to really support those festivals and to put the festival guide into the app. And then we can provide information, in an up-to-date way for the festivals. And we can send push notifications as well, which is a power that you have to have a mobile app for, but it's really a premier way of telling modern day, tech savvy customers and visitors about what's going on.
Well, that's just, I mean, that essentially sort of replaces, I mean, if I wanted to turn around, and I'll pick on the Songwriters Festival that's coming on. Yeah. If I wanted to see 5 or 6 artists, somewhat old school, I mean, old school, I'd have to write it down on a piece of paper and carry it in my pocket and look at my wristwatch. Semi old school, maybe put it on my calendar saying, hey, Citizen Cope's playing here, create an alarm, and then all of a sudden, oh, we got to go to City Dock or whatever to see Citizen Cope. This will now push it to you.
Right. So, I mean, first of all, you have that listing on your phone that it scrolls through in a timely fashion. So whoever's playing is kind of at the top,
sure.
And once they've played, the next act moves to the top. So it's kind of this automated, calendar. Each of those items has a button that you can automatically add it to your personal calendar on your cell phone. And then for some of the highlights of the festival, the Songwriter Festival, there's a ton of acts, so we don't do it for everybody, but some of the highlights we'll send push notification letting them know, like, free concert is starting at City Dock.
Question for you on and we'll pick on the Songwriters Festival again. I know last year when Leanne Rhymes, when she took the stage, she was delayed because of rain. Is that something that where in Annapolis can?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, just sit there. I'm like, Oh, chill out. We can go get a beer because they're they're in a rain delay.
No, and that's another big feature of the push notification. So actually, just recently, when the big storm, the tropical storm, blew through, we sent out a push notification letting everybody know that the water taxi wasn't going to be running that morning. Right, we sent it at 10 in the morning. So like for the tug of war coming up, we kind of have a tradition of sending out the score of the tug of war Eastport versus Annapolis after every tug.
Right.
So what I've actually found, a lot of people have told me that they really love getting the push notifications when they're not in Annapolis, because it makes them feel connected to the things that are going on.
Well, you're a little bit there. Not quite, but you're a little bit there with them. Eastport's ahead. Annapolis came back.
That's why, and I was just poking around the app again. Again, you can pick them up anywhere, whether you do it the Google Play Store. I think it's still called Google Play, and the Apple App Store, which
we're the top Annapolis app in both app stores. So just search for Annapolis, and we'll be the first one that comes up.
Awesome. But I noticed I was playing around, and you have a little scavenger hunt, which is kind of neat. And I that was somewhat new. Is that somewhat new to the app?
That's actually been there. I think this is the second full year. So we're ending the second season with the scavenger hunt in there. And we put that in for Maryland Day, I think last year. So it's almost 2 years old now. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Hey, go to the courthouse. What is the shape that you see on the front of the building? You've got two justices overlooking you, watching you.
Yeah, we partnered with Watermark, and they had one of their costumed tour guides give the live action clues, right. And then the user has to find the clues in real life, and if they have the right clue, it gives them the next clue. And then they get augmented reality prizes. We're trying to sort of do, it's a poor imitation of Pokemon.
Well,
but it's a lot of fun.
That is, and your actor is Kevin Sullivan. I used to work with him at R&R, so way back when that was.
To Kevin, he's really good. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah. He is. I love watching him when they're singing at Midnight Madnesses around town. He and his wife, and every now and then I'll see him doing a ghost tour with Watermark as well. He's really a creative guy. So I mean that, I don't know that anybody needs any more reasons or excuses to get the app. I mean, it's free.
It's not a monthly subscription. You can just go to your app store and search Annapolis as the top one there, called Where in Annapolis. You can also go to whereinannapolis.com. You can catch a little bit more information about the app, but and it's got the buttons there to take you to whatever your platform is.
We'll be updating our website here this month as well. Yeah.
That's always something that just sort of, it's easy to slide to the next month, So,
I remember, gosh, when I was updating ours and we wanted to do a whole new look and everything else. And I mean, it was a year and a half, and we're going to do it next month.
Yeah.
It's but okay, so let's talk about the other half of this. Okay, this is for the businesses. This is for the small businesses, and let's face it. A small business by nature has a limited marketing budget. They're not turning around and taking out the full page ads in the Wall Street Journal, or you're not getting when you go to Facebook with the giant takeover of Facebook things. I don't think you can do that, but the local businesses. Okay, first of all, I mean, I guess the benefit is that the people that are using the app are not in Baltimore. They're not in New York. They're not in DC. They're not in, they're not anywhere else. They're here. I mean, I'd be stupid to be in DC looking for, let me see what's happening in Annapolis if I'm not planning to be in Annapolis.
Right.
So you've almost got a captive audience, I guess, that, this is and it's the whole thing with sales. I mean, you want to be at the right place, the right time, the right price and everything else. And you're really sort of taking that out of them. I mean, you're saying, hey, these are the people that are here, whether they live here or whether they're visiting here. They're here. I mean, they're not a captive audience per se, but I mean, why are you looking at it if you're not here?
Yeah, we like to say we're hyper-focused to just downtown Annapolis. So we don't go, we don't have any customers that are further than the football stadium. And I think our sort of our earliest and primary source of new users would be people who are riding on the water taxi, and then they'll pay for the water taxi fare through our app. And so the idea is everything in the app is within walking distance of the water taxi.
Sure.
And so, it's, they're here, they've got money to spend. And importantly, when you look at any of the listings in the app, it shows up in geographic proximity. So whatever's closest to the user actually shows up at the top of their list.
Oh, nice. So it's all geo targeted, I guess is the fancy, technical term there.
We do some subtle so I'm an engineer at heart, and I have an undergrad in computer science and a master's in electrical engineering. And so we're doing actually a lot of really good engineering on the backside. And probably the thing that I'm weakest at is the sales side. So I really appreciate you helping me.
No. I mean, that's
With
and
interview.
I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
to deal with the walking thing. I mean, and you're bordered by we'll say the lower half of Eastport, downtown Annapolis, and on the far side Taylor Avenue, which is really when you look at the and I hate to keep going back to the tourists, but you look at the tourist hotels. That's where they all are. That's where visitors are coming in, and let's face it. I mean, you know exactly what's going on. I mean, you personally are probably not going to be a great customer to use that app. You know where you want to go and drink and stuff down here and everything else. But there are so many people that are hemming and hawing and not quite sure. And it makes sense because, I mean, when you come down to Annapolis, we're so water focused to turn around and say, hop on the water taxi. And it's like, okay, well, let me then, oh, okay, well, great. I'm going to scan. I'm going to get this app. I'm going to do, oh, this is easy. Do it. And, oh, look, hey, we're here in Eastport. There's, oh, there's a great little cafe right here on the water.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you're, a local like I am here in Annapolis, so we're the official app for Ramshead on Stage, Watermark Tours and Cruises, and Historic Annapolis. And so, all of those sort of pillars of the tourism industry have, events throughout the year that it's really nice to be sort of reminded of what's happening this weekend over at Ramshead, or this act is there, or Historic Annapolis. Another event we'll be supporting the Bourbon Blazer cigar event coming up, and so we'll have an event guide for that'll sort of demystify what's going on and help people network. And so it's just, I think we just kind of elevate everybody's experiences with both just kind of a general experience within Annapolis, and then also any particular event we can just kind of help elevate it, explain it, demystify it. And we can also help the organizers on the backside. So both with their CRM, if they need to take certain pieces of information to make the festival work. We also now offer digital ticketing. So that's an upgrade for this year's first year we started to do that, but we implemented a really robust digital ticketing service. So anybody who's doing an event in Annapolis will do your digital tickets, and it ends up being at no cost for the event organizer. We just add $1 booking fee to the user, kind of like we do for the water taxi. And when it's that low of a booking fee, the users don't even blink. And that's kind of an industry, we see that across the industry. If it's less than $1 for a ticket, people understand that there's going to be so we can help with digital tickets. So then what happens is the organizers their staff or volunteers will use their own cell phones, but our ticketing app to scan in the QR codes at the door. And so you have a first class digital ticketing experience at minimal cost. And
then you've got the reporting and everything else.
And it's a real time updated guest list. They can see who's checked in for the events. And we've already used that at a number of events. The last bridge run, the MRE used that, and it worked great. I mean, we processed hundreds of people in, less than 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, I mean, as far as local businesses that are looking to work with Where in Annapolis, as I do, I mean, you've got different placements and stuff like that, and different priority spots on my website. I mean, do you offer different levels of? And I mean, I don't want to get into dollars and cents or anything like that, but. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm assuming there's different levels of engagement that businesses, because let's face it, Ramshead on Stage has probably a much larger budget than, Box Books.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so the first page that always opens up for every user is that featured listing. And so there's a premium tier that's kind of, that is going to be, that's a level that I wouldn't expect everyone to want to subscribe to get that featured listing where they're seen by every user whenever they open the app. But then you have the categories for the basic listings. And so the idea here is, maybe the users who are looking for whatever the upcoming act is at Ramshead, or the events at Historic Annapolis, or Watermark, or Annapolis Collection Gallery, who are our featured sponsors.
Great works in there.
Yeah.
Also mostly local artists, which is really kind of neat. I love what Catherine does there.
That's right. Yeah. And she was actually one of our first. I think she recognized the value of the app and was actually our first customer. So shout out to Catherine. Yeah, she's really helped me further the app over the last 5 years. But So you have a lot of people that see those on the featured listings, but then all of our basic listings and all of our events, we kind of cross promote amongst all the people.
Mm-hmm.
So people who might be coming in for Historic Annapolis now get to learn about all the other great things that are happening, and people who are coming in for Ram's Head get to learn about all the things happening down at the water. So it's a really great way to cross promote. And again, so for all of the events, we can send push notifications to all of our users. So
wild.
that's basically the two tiers. You have the featured listing, the basic listing, and then our event services.
And the thing I like to see, the app is very simple. It's not this big complex thing. I mean, I'm trying to think what app I was on the other day. Oh, I was trying to buy a stupid movie ticket. I'm going to see Eyes Wide Shut over at the Landmark Theaters, and it was like, why can't I selected my seat? Why can't I? And it was like, oh, there's another little thing I've got to hit okay and slide this to that, and then you get to the next screen and the next screen. You're very simple. I mean, right down the bottom, you got your home.
Yeah.
You've got your, events. You've got, 4 buttons right down on the bottom. It makes it very easy. And you don't require, unless you get into the paying for the water tax or anything like that. I mean, you don't require any kind of a registration or anything, do you?
Yeah, it's free. It's anonymous. Actually, we don't even track your location, even though it's geographic proximity. That's all done on your phone. So
sure. The FBI and the CIA are doing it. Mitch ain't doing it.
The phone sorts it for you. I wouldn't be able to tell where you are or whatever. Yeah, no. And I'm very conscious of just a really, really good user experience. So it goes back to my engineering background. I really try to put out a really high quality product with a really good user experience. And then I hope that the quality kind of speaks for itself. And we've just kind of grown organically because people just really like the app.
It does, and when you've got a good experience, you come back. It's very simple to do. And I mean, we've talked briefly about. We talked about where in Newport, where in Annapolis. Do you have any plans to expand this, or are you just looking to expand within the town? I mean, obviously, there's it's not within the walking distance, but I had heard that Ward 3, which is sort of like that outer West Street parole area, has more businesses than anywhere else in Annapolis. They've got more like 800 businesses in that area.
Yeah, no. So Inner West Street is welcome to join the app. But yeah, again, past that, no plans to expand this app, because I think we dilute the specialness of the app, right? So Visit Annapolis is like Visit Annapolis in Anne Arundel County, and so they put in a lot of time and effort to promote all of it.
The airport, the casinos, the Southern County, their agriculture, and everything.
This is just, I think one of the things that makes Maryland really special is Annapolis, downtown Annapolis, the historic, downtown area, and all the great things that we have going on. It's just that's plenty for one app, right? So I did take a look at expanding the app. We thought about maybe like Ocean City, Frederick, Maryland, but again, it goes back to it takes a lot of time to build those relationships with the businesses, so that they can call me and say, hey, we've got this thing going on. Can you support it? We want to send out a push notification, and I think
how long does that take? If I'm an advertiser and I get a hold of you, and I mean, provided that you're not, up to your eyeballs in something or other, I mean, say, hey, we're doing, okay, say I'm Rams Head and I got 10 more seats to sell out. Can you do a $10 discount or something like that?
Yeah. So shout out to Rams Head, and I'm sure she probably mentioned that they don't do.
Yeah, I know.
But no, that's exactly right. So she might just say, hey, the sales at, the Maryland Hall show this weekend is a little slow. Can you send out a push notification? So we will.
Don't forget, hype up that so-and-so is playing.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
But that's pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. It's just an email or a text. I mean, people just text me and tell me to send out a push notification. So, again, a great example would be the storm that blew through. Ginny Watermark just basically sent me a text to say, hey, we're not going to be running tomorrow. Because I say, okay, great. I'll send out a push notification at 10 in the morning, and that's how that works.
That's a Bible. Now, do push notifications come standard with everybody pretty much?
About a third of users turn off push notifications and location.
Meaning users of just me? Is this a user of the app?
User of the app.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the app world, we talk about customers, and they would be the businesses who are listing within the app, and then users are the people who have actually downloaded the app. And we have over 31,000 active users now.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
What does the app not have that you would like to see? I mean, Mr. Engineer.
Yeah.
Is there a feature, or is there
There's a couple major customers in Annapolis that I'd love to bring on, a couple festivals that I'd still love to join. I would still like, Where in Annapolis to become sort of synonymous as like the app that has, everything happening within Annapolis.
well, the go-to app?
Yeah, the go-to app. So I think that's it. I think we've really developed and iterated, and we really improve every winter. As the tourist season gets slow, that's when we really go back and make our improvements and maybe add new features and debug them, and get ready for that next tourist season. And so I think I would just, invite anybody who's not on the app to, shoot me an email, info@Where in Annapolis, and join the app. And the more users that download the app, the more valuable it is to the customers. The more customers that are listed in the app, the more valuable it is to the users. It's like a digital snowball.
Yeah. Whereinannapolis.com, and that's WHERE, just in case anyone is having a tough time spelling, .com. We'll give you all the information on the app and the business, if you're a business or a user. And easiest way is just to go to your favorite app store and grab it. Type in Annapolis as your search engine or your search term, and it's going to come up right there. It's got a great little sort of a blurry Maryland flag in the background of the app, so you sort of know you're in the right place. Mitch, thank you so much for bringing it to the residents and the visitors of Annapolis. And I think that it's a great app. If you're going to be here for the Songwriters Festival, you definitely want to get it, because that's going to keep you up to speed on that. If you're going to be here for the Tug of War, which comes up then, I guess, in November, I'm thinking of different events that are around.
Bourbon Blazer Cigars will be supporting other ones. I'm starting to work perhaps the Maryland Festival in October here on Maryland Avenue. The Bernie House Mardi Gras Festival in February, or not festival, but ball. Yes.
Right. They're trying to figure out the date on this.
So
right.
Just working with all of our local event organizers. Yeah.
But Mitch, thank you so much. And, let's everybody get out there, check that app out. It's really kind of indispensable if you're, especially if you're here for an event, but if you're roaming around town and just looking for something to do. And when you get on there, look at the businesses that are on there. Those are the small businesses. Those are not the Best Buys or the malls of the world that are sending all their money out. And support local business. I mean, always do that. Look, they're the ones coaching your kids in Little League. They're the ones that are, perhaps teaching your kids in the school because they got a side gig. Local business makes the world go round. And I thank you for your part in making that world go round too.
Cheers. Yeah. Thanks very much. It's kind of my way to give back. And so I think it's really important. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.